Perfect. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm very good, thank you. I am still on a high from watching your gorgeous and enchanting.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I really loved it. I think Cinderella is one of my personal favourite fairy tales. And I know it's such a big story in Norway with like a classic film. So how would you go about bringing this new adaptation to the...
Well, it was actually an idea from my producers. They came to me with it, and it hit me so hard because, you know, I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, and it wasn't a lot of movies with a female strong character. And this remake we're doing from, or the Czechoslovakian East German original film, it had such power and so much strength for a female character. So of course we all dreamed about having her courage. And then of course when I watch it with my kids, it's outdated in a way, even if it was very modern and very beautiful. So when they asked me about this, I just felt thrilled, because I really wanted to give the same courage to my kids and my daughters, but also boys around, to because I think still we're missing so much strong female characters. So I just jumped on the train and said, yes, let's go. and then I realized I need to have I don't want to copy the aesthetics of the audience who loves it, who watches it every Christmas Eve, which is a tradition in Norway. So then I thought, okay, I grew up in the Arctic, in the wilderness up north of Norway. So I thought maybe I could bring this environment to the film, because I wanted to make the film as the original, about also taking care of the nature, the people and the nature and the elements of the world. And the Arctic environment is very vulnerable for all the changes now. So to have this character who learns to stand up for herself, who has the courage, and so it's about equality, and it's about the environment and being good to people and nature. So that's what hit me about doing this.
You do it wonderfully. It's such a multifaceted kind of film, as you're talking about, because Cinderella is such a great character and it's such a gorgeous environment. I think I start first with the snow, like you were saying, filming in the Arctic. How do you go about bringing a fairy tale in such icy conditions?
It was a disaster in many ways. It was so hard. The weather was changing all the time, and the slopes we made for the horses, so they wouldn't go through, they blew away, or the snow melted and it snowed again. And you know, it was crazy. And if you've never experienced deep snow, every step you take, your foot is falling down to your hip. So it's like the biggest work. You don't need a gym that day to say it like that. And it was 12 hours, and the dark is hitting very hard in March in Norway. So when it gets dark out there in the wilderness, it's black, and you had to find your way home. And we were losing the crew members in the snow, and we couldn't find each other. So it was challenging, but still one of the best. I guess I've never felt as alive in my life as when we were shooting up in the mountains.
Oh, wow.
But it was challenging.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. It just definitely comes through. It feels like a really good kind of cast environment as well. With some great performances. I mean, how did they cope with that, with such big costumes, and have to drag that through the snow?
Yeah, we had a wonderful costume designer, Flore Vauville from Paris, who made, because we wanted to make it real, all the costumes are based on Norwegian traditional clothes, and we do have this kind of treatment for the wool that makes it still breathing and warm. And Astrid, who did Cinderella, she was never cold. Can you believe it? Because to go back to the traditional clothing actually keeps the heat away, but it was heavy. They were struggling, and but that was also the great thing about this movie. But both the actors and the crew were fighting together towards elements to create this together. So we actually had so much fun. I have to say.
It definitely looks like a fun shoot, especially with Ellen as a stepmother, because she's got such an iconic costume.
Oh, she's so fantastic. I can't thank the costume and the mask designer enough, I have to say. But you have to watch, it's a YouTube film out, the behind the scenes film. There you'll really see how much we struggled with the weather.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'll definitely watch that afterwards.
yeah, it's great. It's subtitles in English too, I guess. I think so, yeah.
Amazing. And like you said, this is bringing a kind of classic traditional fairy tale and bringing it to modern audiences and giving them a kind of heroine behind them. How difficult was it balancing the modern and the classic together in this story?
Yeah, we spent so much time on that script, which seems ridiculous because the script is there, the story is there, but since to have these changes, because then the third nut, where it was supposed to be a wedding dress, what are we doing with the third nut? And when we realized, of course, the third wish has to be about becoming you and believe in yourself, and how to make that exciting but not disappointing to all the fans. And yeah, it was a lot of big questions about how to not disappoint but still surprise, and still do it in my values, because I have very strong values defined that I wanted to get through in this film. And so how to do it without getting like protesting on the old story, because that was never the goal. It was how to bring all that power into a 2021, 22 energy. We had a lot of discussions. We did.
Sorry, I was just about to say, you brought up that was my favorite moment.
Isn't it?
So I was like welling up, and you know, like when you well up and you're like clapping, it's such a beautiful message to send to people.
Yes, and I believe for young women and young boys, men, it's so important to know that, to believe in the good and not in how people tell you what you are supposed to do, and how love or life or anything is supposed to be. And that what you're born with doesn't need to be an obstacle. If you, of course, it is difficult when you're born in a place where you don't have all the privileges, but still to be yourself in it is such a strong value, and it shines through. And then I'm so lucky to have Astrid doing that part, because she believes in the same, and she was able to tell that story.
Absolutely. It's my next question, because how casting she's so beautiful, yes, and in character, and she's just captures that kind of kind and ferocious spirit that Cinderella has. How easy? I mean, it must have been easy to cast her again.
No, we were looking everywhere, and we had a lot of good options, but I still felt that to find that person that has that power, when she enters the room, you just want to watch her. Only because of her beauty, it's because she has this empathic view on people. And Astrid is one of the most empathic people I ever met. And she's also used to be a sport. She used to do soccer on a high level and skiing. So she's tough, she's strong. And I had nearly given up finding her the perfect one. And I was saying to my husband, I don't want to watch any self-tapes or anything tonight. I just want to lay on the couch and watch this, just what's on television. And I saw this program about pop stars, which she was interviewed, and it was like a program where you get picked up by the host, and then you do different things during the day. And I was like in slow motion rising and saying, oh my God, I found her. It's Astrid, because she's she's a big pop star in Norway and in international too. So she wasn't on my list for who I thought I was going to audition. So, but then we of course had a lot of auditions and workshops to figure out whether she actually could act on, that she had the acting skills needed. and she was so she's such a quick learner, and she loves to learn. She loves to train on things, and she never gives up. And I have to tell her sometimes to go and take a break, because she's unstoppable. And she was so modest about and full of respect for the work. So it was very easy to decide that we wanted her. Yeah.
And it worked so well. She is Cinderella in my eyes.
Yes, to me too. Yeah. And for me it was also this thing about, because she has like, I don't know how many followers on Instagram and everything. So the producers are of course happy that she's so well known for other things. But for me, if she didn't have one follower on Instagram, she would be my Cinderella. It's really important that I found her, not her famous city. It was her as a stunning person that I needed for this character. And she grew up in the wilderness, in the snow, on the countryside in the midst of Norway. So she's a tough nail. She's really cool, but kind of too.
That's amazing. That's such a good little nugget of information. Because I think what I love about this Cinderella is that she's kind and resourceful and strong, and she battles and she shoots bows and she talks to animals.
Yeah, and she's funny. Her lines are like,
she's funny.
Yeah. Playful. And Astrid is very playful and have this sense of humor, which is very funny. Yeah.
And it comes through. I mean, how difficult was it? Because I was talking to Astrid before about the animals and having I've heard that you had to play some of the animals that she speaks to.
Sorry, can you say that again? It's jumping.
I heard that you had to be some of the animals that Astrid speaks to. Like you had to do like the
I was all the animals. I've been an actress for 30 years, so I'm kind of sometimes forgetting that when I'm directing, I start being things, and then she was supposed to play against this owl and different, so I just started making. So it was so funny during the whole editing, because you could all the time hear me saying ooh, 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 talking owl language to her in all scenes. And when I asked her, should I stop doing it? Is it better? I don't know. I need you animal talking. But it was torture to hear myself during all the editing.
You weren't tempted to keep any of your own animal voices in there?
I've told her I'll make her a tape with all of them so she can hear it when she goes to sleep or something.
You should release your animal voices to the world.
Also because it was really important in that moment when she realized that she has to be herself, because of course in my analysis the owl is a mother, the horse is the father, and so on. So where she's telling her, ooh, ooh, come on. So on that particular shot, it's hilarious how many owl sounds I make. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Amazing. I'm sure you did an amazing job, even though we don't hear your animal voices.
It worked for the purpose, at least.
So final question, and it's a bit of a cheesy question, but if you had a magical hazelnut, what would be your wish?
How do I say this in English? It's to stop all. Do you say inequality?
Inequality. Amazing. Yeah. That was such a beautiful answer.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. You've been an absolute delight.
You made my day.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Liking the hoo-hoos.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry about this, but I'm going to try. And ha de bra.
Ha de bra. Perfect. That was really good. Ha de bra.
Ha de bra. Thank you so much. And good luck with the rest of the film.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.